Good evening and welcome to Keto Confab. It is Wednesday, December the 28th, our last Keto Confab of the year, and then we'll be into 2023. And I am your hostess, Elizabeth Hanson, along with my husband, Dr. Scott Hanson. And unfortunately, nobody's been able to join us tonight. We delayed starting the meeting because we didn't have anybody coming in, but that's the way it goes in the holiday season. Everyone is busy, everybody's traveling, trying to finish up last minute things before the end of the year. And so that's okay. As has been our custom with Keto Confab, we've been going through the 12 myths about metabolic health from Dr. Ovadia, I think it's Paul or Peter, something. I don't have his book sitting here. I used to, but I don't know where I put it. Anyway, we're going to finish that up. There were 12 myths. And last week, not last week, we were gone because we were at a holiday party. We did 2 weeks ago, we did myth number 10. So tonight we're going to cover myth number 11 and number 12. When the new year begins, we're going to start over with Dr. Annette Bosworth's workbook, and we're going to go through that and talk about, how to get onto keto. It's new year. Hopefully, maybe some new people who are just getting going will start with us, and we'll try and help them get going and reinvigorate our own reasons why we're doing this to take care of our health and everything. And so I'm going to bring up the screen, and Scott, you can tell me if I'm actually sharing it. I'm looking for the screen share. Oh, here it is. Is it up, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
Okay. So myth number 11 is you can't improve metabolic health conditions without medication. So by metabolic health conditions, what do you think we're talking about, Scott?
Metabolic health conditions. Well, there's all sorts of different things that could be. It might be, retaining too much water. It might be digestive issues. It
Diabetes,
might be, thyroid issues. Yeah,
hypertension, thyroid.
Right. Yeah, because right. Yeah, in a sense, diabetes 1 and 2 could be considered, metabolic, because that's a wide range.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because metabolism basically is the sum total of all the chemical reactions that take place in the body. So yeah.
And I'm assuming there's hundreds of thousands of chemical reactions that happen within the body.
At least. Yeah.
And they're happening at the same time.
Pretty much. Right. Yeah.
So let's read through this. Not only is this statement purely false. Now, this is coming from a cardiac doctor saying this statement is purely false. It creates hopelessness and the dangerous belief that people should just give up on their health. That fuels a perpetual cycle that ends on my surgical table. Have you ever heard a doctor say that you can get off medications for chronic conditions like diabetes or hypertension? Well, I haven't. In fact, they laugh at me when I say I would. My clients have gotten off these medications. Type 2 diabetes is reversible based on both studies and my personal experience with patients. You can also improve your blood pressure without medication, also based both on research and my personal experience. The medications are there to treat the symptoms. That means the meds will never make you better. They just prevent you from getting worse as fast as you would without them. Eventually, your problems will still catch up with you if you don't address the underlying cause for the symptoms. We know that diabetes is linked to food. Now, they almost always link it to just sugar, but it isn't just sugar. Sugar as in like cheesecake or something.
Yeah.
They link it to that kind of stuff, but it's also carbs. And that's one thing that we try to do with keto is to keep down our number of carbs consumed each day, so that our blood sugars aren't just crazy. And
Yep.
I know I was shocked. The most shocking thing to me when I first started watching my blood sugars, when I was starting keto, I was not diabetic, but I was close to diabetic. Diabetes is diagnosed when your A1C blood test is at 6.5. Anything 6 and above is called pre-diabetes. At 6.5, you are diabetic. And so I was at 6.2. And I'm like, I'm fine. And my doctor was like, oh, but you got to watch it. But they didn't tell me how to watch it. They just said, you got to watch it. But then I read Dr. Boz's books and I started watching my blood sugar. And the most shocking thing to me was what happened to my blood sugar when I ate white rice. All I had was white rice with a little butter, salt, and pepper on it. I ate 1 cup of it and my blood sugar was insane. Well, insane for me. I mean, I know there are diabetics out there that are used to 200 or 300, but for me, 189 is crazy, an hour after a meal. And I couldn't believe I could eat a piece of cheesecake and it not get that high. Cheesecake did not put my blood sugar up that high, but rice did. That was so shocking to me. And I really like rice. I've lived a number of years in Asia and I really love rice, but wow, it really does my blood sugar in. And now that I've been keto for 2 years, my A1C is at 4.7. So just getting rid of the carbs has improved my metabolic health. And I didn't use any medications or anything to improve that. I didn't go on a crazy exercise routine. I just changed my diet and realized that carbs just are not my friend and they don't help my metabolic health. But so many people think, well, once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic and you got to take medication and, you're only going to get worse. Well, you're going to get worse if you don't do something other than medication. There are ways to manage it. So I can really see myth number 11. Okay, then here we have myth number 12. Health problems come with age. This might be the saddest myth of all, that we're supposed to get sicker and weaker as we age, beginning in our 50s and 60s, and should expect decades of miserable decline as we lose out on family events and personal pleasure. That is very sad. This is deeply wrong. You can live healthy your whole life and die in your 90s. We shouldn't have a 10 to 20 year period of our lives where we are progressively dying day by day and miserable the whole time. One example of this lie is the belief that hormonal imbalance is the natural result of aging and that nothing can be done about it apart from medication. For example, some claim that testosterone naturally decreases with age. No. Low T is more closely associated with your poor metabolic health. That's why healthy men in their 80s can have even more testosterone than an obese men in their 20s. It's all about how you fuel your body. People also assume that female hormones naturally destabilize with age. The dreaded menopause is held up as a life-shattering event that could tear apart your whole world for years on end. But many women improve some menopausal symptoms by going on low-carb, whole food diets. Your body isn't designed to just fall apart from your 30s onward. Don't let anyone make you believe this. I believed this myth pretty much my whole life. I mean, everybody jokes about it, like, yeah, I'm turning 50. It's the end. It's the beginning of the end. How many years of misery will I have? And our elderly, when they get to the point when they're going to die, whether that's in their 60s or 70s or early 80s, they're on so many medications from this chronic problem or that chronic problem. And yeah, it is very sad. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be on a bunch of medications that, you know, I depend on. I don't want to depend on the pharmaceutical companies. And about menopause, um, I had, hot flashes like a lot of my friends and everything. But since being on keto, I haven't had any of those unless I've done a day of eating a lot of carbs. If I have a day where I just go cuckoo on carbs, then I will have night sweats and hot flashes. And I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. So yeah. Um, our middle daughter who lives with us, she had very high testosterone, and we put her on keto a year and a half ago or so, and she was having all sorts of acne and stuff, and her OBGYN said it was from the high testosterone levels that she had. And he said if we could, help her eat less, or eat fewer sugars, that would get better. Well, we were restricting sugar, but we weren't restricting carbs until we put her on keto. And her face has cleared up. Is it perfect? No. But, it's cleared up and everything. And her skin, just the quality of her skin looks better, looks fresher and everything. So I know going for her, for a female, going keto has lowered her testosterone, but supposedly for men, it helps their testosterone stay at a good level, which is good. So, well, that's the last two of the myths from this book. And he said, so then this is his last little sum up. These are just the 12 biggest lies that pertain to our conversation in the book that he's written. Stay Off My Operating Table is the name of the book. There are so many other deceptions and half-truths buried in the medical and food industries if you just go digging. It can seem overwhelming to learn there are so many outright lies that have intentionally infected the public health, as well as medical practitioners' knowledge and advice. Doctors at least should have the truth, right? People die because of these myths. When my patients learn about these lies, they demand answers. How did we get here? How can our whole medical system be teaching the wrong information, and what can I do to protect myself? That's the important thing here. That's the thing that Scott and I decided to do. Was we decided to take more control over our health and using the keto diet to be more healthy and need less of the pharmaceutical organization or even our family doctor. Now we still have a family doctor. We still have to go from time to time for this and that and everything, but we need them less because we have taken responsibility. And then he goes on that in the rest of his book, he will try and help people understand and get, answers about how to be more healthy and thriving by using diet and other personal things. So, you have anything to share about this, Scott?
No, but I mean, I know that, the last myth, the myth about the fact that aging, part of, poor health is just natural part of aging. All sorts of people have said that, people in my family, I mean, my parents and my grandparents said that, and a lot of different people I know say that. So yeah, it's a very pervasive myth in our society. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, just look at the card industry, Hallmark and everything. They have
Yeah.
all sorts of joke cards about,
Right.
getting old and having all sorts of aches and pains
Yes.
and everything. So it is very pervasive in our whole society. And it's sad that we don't believe that with proper care and management, we can, you know, do better and be healthier.
Yep.
So anyway, so since no one joined us today, that's the end of our presentation for this video. But we wanted to talk just a minute about what our plans are for 2023. We plan to continue with meeting on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. Um, we occasionally have to cancel either because of sickness or some sort of meeting that doesn't allow us to be online at this time. But we usually let people know a week or two ahead of time when we realize that's going to happen. Doesn't happen very much. I think in all of 2022 we canceled 3 times.
Yeah.
Once because of a trip we took, once because of a holiday party, and once because of illness. It might have been twice because of illness, so 4. So that's not
Yep.
bad. 56 weeks in a year, no, 52 weeks in a year, and we had to cancel 4 times. That's not too bad. And our desire is to support each other, but to support anyone that comes. And we don't care if you've been doing keto for 10 years or for 10 weeks or for 10 days. We'll help with whatever. We try not to focus too much on like recipes and, what keto drink we want to drink or something, but we do discuss that. We try and hold that kind of discussion to the end of the meeting so that anyone that doesn't want to hear that kind of stuff can leave. And we're just hoping to help more people next year. So anything you want to add, Scott?
No, the other thing is, I mean, if anybody is watching this video and there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, we
Oh,
can discuss
yeah.
that. Yeah, we can put our email address in the comments
Mhm.
section, in the chat section, and you can email us and with suggestions on what you'd like to see us cover, because
And
there's a
of
number of different
course,
topics we
you
could
can
cover.
always contact us through Facebook at Keto Confab on Facebook, or through the Neurons group, Dr. Boz's Neurons group. I'm a member of the Neurons group, so you can always message me there.
Yep.
I read my Facebook most every day, and we'll answer questions. And if there's a book you want us to cover and read, let us know, a topic, whatever. And I guess that will be it for this evening. And we just hope you have a good and safe holiday. Stay warm. Don't go on the roads if the weather's bad. Um, don't overindulge for the new year, and we'll see you in the new year. Okay. Good night.
Yep. Good night, everybody.